Today we are going to overview the list of the most common used vocabulary that you can face during your exam like TOEFL or IELTS. Listen carefully. Repeat and memorize the meaning of each word so you can boost your level of English. Before we start, we'd really appreciate your subscription, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Ready, so let's start.
Book 20, Lesson 1. A good deal of, a lot of, a great deal of, a lot of, apart, away from, separately, in or two pieces. Apart from, preposition, besides, separate from, except for. Bag, a container, usually made of paper or plastic, a suitcase. Become of, to happen to. Bet, an agreement that the person whose guess about something is wrong will pay the person whose guess is correct. Bet, 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 the verb, to make a bet. Call for, to go and get, require. Can't help, to be unable to stop from doing something. Combine, to put together, to mix. Cost, the price, the amount paid or asked for something. Create, to make, to produce. Depend on, to be decided by something else. Feel like, to want to do something. From time to time, sometimes. Give, gave, given away, to make a gift. Groceries, items sold at a grocery store. Ingredient, one of the parts of a combination. Jar, a glass container with a wide mouth. Label, a small piece of paper, cloth, etc., attached to something as identification. List, names of items or people written one after the other. List, the verb, to make a list. Mix, the noun, a combination of things. Mix, the verb, to put ingredients together. Mixture, the product of mixing. Most, the largest part, number, or amount of something. Mostly, chiefly, for the most part. On hand, available for use now. Property, anything that is owned, land. Purchase, the noun, anything that is bought, the action of buying. Purchase, the verb, to buy. Put, put off, to postpone. Quantity, an amount. Raw, not cooked. Recipe, a list of things and directions for preparing food. Separate, not together with, not shared, different. Separate, the verb, to set or keep one person or thing away from another, to divide. Set, a group of people or things that belong together, radio or TV equipment that has been assembled. Stir, to mix. Tear up, to pull apart or into pieces. Thus, therefore. Additional, in addition to, added. Alert, watchful. Alert, the verb, to warn, to be ready. Ally, a person or country joined with another person or country, a friend. Attack, the noun, the use of force or violence against someone or something. Attack, the verb, to act upon harmfully. Authorize, to give power or authority to. Battle, a fight. Border, a line between nations, the edge of something. Call up, to summon for duty. Combat, a battle or a fight. Defend, to guard from attack, protect. Defense, something that defends against attack. Define, to give a meaning for something. Enemy, person or thing that is against another. Engage, to enter into conflict, bring together. Freedom, state of not being under control. Maintain, to keep in a certain state, defend or support something. Maintenance, maintaining or being maintained. Neutral, supporting neither side. Nevertheless, however, also. Notify, to tell or inform. On alert, ready for danger. Peace, absence of conflict. Secure, free from danger. Security, protection. Settle, to reach an agreement, take up permanent residence. Situation, condition or circumstance. Take control of, to assume control of. Take, took, taken over, to begin controlling. Take sides, to support a group or individual. Take steps, to begin to act. Threat, warning, danger. Threaten, to make threats. War, armed conflict or hostility. Lesson 3. Accelerate, to increase the speed of. Align, to bring into a straight line. Altogether, all in all, completely. Automatic, done as from habit, working by itself. Carburetor, device for mixing gasoline with air. Clutch, a device used for connecting or disconnecting gears. Defect, lacking something, a fault. Defective, having defects. Estimate, general guess, opinion. Estimate, the verb, to guess the size, cost, etc., form an opinion. Exterior, outside part of. Fluid, liquid. Function, purpose, job, role. Function, the verb, to operate, work. Gear, toothed, wheel. Have a look at, to examine. Hydraulic, operated by the movement or force of liquids. Ignite, to set fire to catch fire. Ignition, starting system of an automobile or other machine. Interior, inside part of. Lever, bar used to apply pressure. Liquid, fluid. Look over, to examine. Manual, made, done, or worked by hand. Pedal, lever operated by foot. Pipe, a tube used to carry liquids or gases. Provide, to furnish what is needed, supply. Pump, device used for pumping. Pump, the verb, to move fluids, gases to and from. Release, to allow to come out, let go. Repair, work done in repairing. Service, to provide or repair, maintenance for. Shift, to move from one position or place to another, change position. Spark, small part of fire. Spark plug, device which produces an electrical spark. Standard, generally recognized as correct or acceptable. Ordinary. Step on the gas, to accelerate. Supply, to provide what is needed. System, arrangement of things to form a whole. Take a look at, to examine. Transmission, a system of gears, the part of an automobile that transmits power from the engine to the wheels. Transmit, to send out. Used, second-hand, not new. Wear, wore, worn out. To reduce to a useless state, to become very tired. Worn out, used until no longer effective, tired. Lesson 4, antifreeze. Chemical substance used to keep liquids from freezing or overheating. Circulate, to move in a circuit and return. Combustible, capable of being burned. Combustion, act or process of burning. Component, a part of a whole, especially a part of electrical or mechanical equipment. Coolant, fluid used for cooling engines. Cylinder, a hollow, solid body with a circular base and straight sides. Eliminate, to remove or get rid of. Omit. Exhaust, the hot gas produced by a gasoline engine. External, of or on the outside. Filter, device through which a liquid is cleaned. Filter, the verb, to pass through a filter. For the purpose of, in order to. Friction, the natural force which tries to stop one surface from rubbing over another surface. In order to, for the purpose of. Internal, of or in the inside. Least, in the smallest degree, the smallest number or amount. Lubricate, to make slippery, to apply a lubricant. Malfunction, the act or instance of malfunctioning. Malfunction, the verb, to fail to function properly. Overhaul, a major repair job, repairs. Overheat, to become excessively hot. Overheated, excessively hot. Piston, cylinder fitted within hollow cylinder. Pressure, applied force. Process, a series of actions that produce a specific result. Purpose, reason, objective. Rebuild, rebuilt, rebuilt. To construct again. Regulate, to control. Rub, to move along a surface with pressure and friction. So that, in order that. Speedometer, device used to indicate speed. Surface, outer part, top of a liquid. Tear, tore, torn down. To destroy, to disassemble. Thermostat, device used for regulating temperature. Useful, capable of being used, helpful. Wear and tear, damage resulting from use. Book 21, Lesson 1. Abnormal, not normal, unusual. Any way, in any manner, in any case, at any rate. Appetite, a strong desire or wish, especially for food. Approximate, more or less, correct or exact. Average, normal, usual, ordinary. Average, the noun. Usual or ordinary level, the amount found by adding several quantities and then dividing by the number of quantities. Average, the verb, to figure out the average. Brand, kind, make, name. Call off, to cancel. Conclude, to end or finish, to decide or determine. Contribute, to give together with others, to share in bringing about. Dense, thick, crowded, close together. Density, number per unit. Desert, dry, barren, sandy region. Drain, to draw off gradually, to empty. Growth, act or rate of growing, increase in size or number. Habit, custom, usual way of doing. In that case, a particular occasion or a state of affairs. Industry, business, manufacture. Keep, kept, kept up with. To maintain the pace, to remain informed. Maximum, greatest amount possible or allowed. Minimum, smallest amount allowed. Model, particular type, representation. Normal, natural, regular, usual. Occur, to happen. Once again, again as before. Once more, one more time. Peak, highest point of anything. Per, for each. Pick up, to get, find, or learn at random or by chance. Populate, to live in a particular area. Population, all the people living in a place. Portion, a share, section, or piece of something. Rapid, fast or quick. Rate, value, cost, speed, etc., measured by its relation to some other amount. Recent, done just before the present, having occurred not long ago. Region, area. Scenery, the features of a landscape surrounding views. Spread, spread, spread. To open up, to make known, to cover with. Take, took, taken after. To be, act, or look like, to resemble. Lesson 2. Absorb, to take in. Affect, to produce an effect on. Airtight, too tight for air or gas to enter or escape. Artificial, not natural. As a result, what happens because an action or event. As a result of, what happens because of an action or event. Bend, bent, bent. To force into a different shape. Bounce. To spring back, rebound. Characteristic. Feature, quality. Chemical. A substance used in or produced by chemistry. Contain. To hold. Content. What is in a container, book, etc. The amount of a substance contained in something. Effect. Result caused by something. Effective. Producing a desired result. Elastic. Able to return immediately to its original size, shape, etc. after being stretched. Escape. To get out of a place. Flexible. Able to bend without breaking, adjustable to change. Form. To take the shape of, to make up. Hardly. Almost none. Inflexible. Unable to bend, not able to change. Nowadays, in these days, at the present time. Original, first, earliest. Property, a characteristic. Real, natural, not artificial. Resist, to fight against, withstand. Result, the noun. What happens because of an action. Result, the verb. To be the effect of. Cause and effect. Rigid, stiff, not bonding or flexible. Seal, something that seals or closes tightly. Seal, the verb. To close, to fasten tightly. Shape, to give form to. So that, to such a degree. Soak, to make thoroughly wet by placing in water, to remain in water. Soak up, to draw in, absorb. Squeeze, to apply pressure. Stretch, to pull to a greater size or length, to extend. Substance, a material of a particular kind. Such, of the same or similar kind. So bad, great, good, etc. Such that, to so great a degree. Waterproof, so tight that water cannot get through. Watertight, of such construction that water cannot get through. Lesson 3. Abbreviation. A shortened form of a word or phrase. Abundance. An amount more than enough. Aid, help, assistance. Aid, the verb, to help, to assist. Architect, a designer of buildings. Be no use, be useless. Case, a problem tried in court, a particular example or instant. Civil, of or relating to citizens' rights. Client, a person who engages the professional services of another. Commit, to do something wrong or unlawful. Court, judicial assembly. Crime, an act prohibited by law. Criminal, of or relating to crime. Determine, to decide, to find out exactly. Dual, having two parts, double. Efficient, producing a desired result with little effect or waste. Enforce, to cause to be carried out. clear and sunny, just and honest. Fill, to supply the things called for in an order, prescription, etc. For a living, as an occupation. Illegal, against the law. In general, usually. Innocent, not guilty of a specific crime. Interpret, explain, translate. Judge, the noun, a public official who is in charge of the court. Judge, the verb, to form an opinion about, to determine the winner of a contest. Judicial, of judges, courts, etc. Jury, group of people sworn to hear evidence in a law case and decide the guilt or innocence. Just, right or fair. Justice, fairness. Lawyer, one whose profession is advising others in matters of law, an attorney. Legal, within the law. Pharmacist, a druggist. Plumber, one who repairs and fits water pipes. Represent, to stand for or symbolize, to act in place of. Rescue, to save from danger. Search, to look through in order to find something, to examine carefully. Stand, stood, stood for. To represent, to tolerate. Lesson 4. Advantage. A favorable circumstance. Be in contact with. To communicate with, to call, to talk. Be in touch with. To communicate with, to call, to talk. Beneficial. Helpful, useful, favorable. Beyond, to the further side of, past the limits of. Branch, a section, any part of a main body or system. Brief, short, especially in time. Brief, the verb, to give all necessary information. Category, division or class in a plan of classification. Command, the noun, an order, a controlling power or position. Command, the verb, to order, to direct authoritatively. Conduct, behavior in a particular situation. Contact, get in touch with. Department, a separate part or division, a branch. Disadvantage, an unfavorable situation or condition. Discharge, the act or result of discharging, a release. Discharge, the verb, to release, to fire a gun. Discover, to be the first to find or learn something, to learn or find out. Extend, to reach, to stretch, to continue in relation to space, time, land, etc. Extension, a continuation, an addition. Get in contact with, to communicate with, to call, to talk. Get in touch with, to communicate with, to call, to talk. Head, leader, ruler. Head, the verb, to lead, to be in charge of. Hesitate, to stop briefly, to wait. Influence, power to affect others, power to produce effects. Influence, to have an effect on, to affect. Inform, to tell, to give information to. Obligation, a duty or necessity. Prohibit, not permit, to prevent. Re-enlist, to sign up again. Recruit, to get new people for. Request, to ask for something, ask someone to do something. Subject to, under authority of, depending on. Suggest, to offer or propose as a possibility. Urge, to plead with, to advise. Veteran, ex-military person. Book 22, Lesson 1. Ambulance, a vehicle for transporting sick or wounded people to a hospital. Approach, to come near to. As if it would be something were true. As though it would be if something were true. At once, immediately, now. Breathe, to take air into the lungs and then let it out. On call, to pay a visit. Choke, to stop breathing due to something in the airway in the throat. Concern, to relate to, worry. Conscious, able to feel and think, awake, knowing. Crash, loud impact. Crash, the verb, to hit with force. Critical, at an important stage, the crisis of a disease. Cut, cut in, interrupt. Faint, to pass out. Favor, a helpful act. Give a hand, to help. Insect, a small creature with no bones, a hard outer cover, and 6 legs. Guy, a man or boy, a male person. Interrupt, to cause a break in activity, to cut in on a conversation. Major, main, most important. Minor, unimportant. Object, a thing that can be seen or touched. Particular, special, unusual, worthy of notice. Pass out, to faint. Poison, a substance that can harm or kill people, animals, or plants when it's taken in. Poisonous, having poison. The prefix re, again. Shout, to speak loudly. Slight, small in amount or extent. Snake, a cold-blooded crawling animal with no legs. Steal, stole, stolen. To take dishonestly. Stuff, things. Swallow, to pass from the mouth to the stomach. Within, inside the limits of. Lesson 2. Beauty, something that pleases or satisfies the senses. Catch, caught, caught up with. To overtake. Complex, difficult, not simple. Complicated, difficult. Declare, to make known publicly or officially to say. Designate, to name, appoint. Differ, to be unlike or different. Difference, the way in which things are unlike. Due to, because of. Entrance, a place of admission, a door or window. Entry, an entrance door or driveway. Exit, a place for leaving. Familiar, closely acquainted. Feature, a prominent part. Flame, burning fuel, fire. Flammable, easy to burn. Former, first of two in past time. Huge, extremely large. Ladder, second of two. Lens, an optical glass. Nominate, to name or propose for a position. Note, a short written message. Patience, the ability to endure or wait calmly. Patient, having the ability to put up with long periods of waiting or unpleasant times calmly and without complaint. Plain, simple, easy to see, hear, or understand. Reckless, careless, not caring about danger. Run, ran, run across. To meet by chance. Simple, not complex, not complicated. Spot, the verb, to locate, find, and see. Surprise, a sudden, unexpected event. Surprise, the verb, to amaze, come upon suddenly. Voice, the sound produced by people when speaking or singing. Vote, a formal expression of choice. Yet, but. Lesson 3. Adhere to stick firmly, to follow. Aim, purpose, intention. Back and forth, one way and then the opposite. Bare, B-A-R-E, not covered, naked. Blunt, dull, not pointed. Board, a long flat piece of wood. Bolt, a metal fastener. Bore, B-O-R-E, to make a hole. Carpenter, a person who constructs buildings or repairs things made of wood. Clockwise, in the same direction of movement as a clock's hands. Coarse, C-O-A-R-S-E, rough, thick in diameter. Counterclockwise, opposite direction of the rotation of clock's hands. Device, a mechanical apparatus. Dig, dug, dug. To break up and move earth. Drill, a tool for boring holes. Drill, the verb, to make a hole by boring. Drive, drove, driven. To push or force. Enable, to make able. Fine, not coarse, thin in diameter. Glue, a sticky substance used to attach things together. Glue, the verb, to stick together two objects with glue. Goggles, protective eye covering. Grip, to hold tightly. Hammer, a tool for driving nails. Hole, H-O-L-E, an empty area. Join, to fasten. Motion, movement. Nail, a metal pin used to fasten wood. Pliers, a gripping tool. Rust, residue of oxidation on metal. Sand, to make smooth. Sandpaper, paper coated with sand or other materials which is used to smooth wood or metal. Saw, a sharp-edged tool used for cutting. Scissors, a twin-bladed cutting tool. Shovel, a tool with a long handle and a wide blade used for moving sand, dirt, snow, etc. Tip, a point or end. Worship, a place, workshop, a place where work is done. Adequate, sufficient. Ammunition, cartridges. Arm, to supply with weapons. Barrel, a tube-like part of rifle or pistol. Bullet, a projectile. Case, a cartridge shell, container. Chamber, a compartment. Check off, to mark items on a list. Detect, to discover. Ease, little effort, rest. Equip, to provide what is needed. Essential, important, necessary. Explode, to burst violently. Extreme, excessive, at the furthest point. Firearm, a weapon. Firing pin, a pin that strikes the cartridge, causing a bullet to be fired from a weapon. Identify, to verify or recognize identity. Inner, inside. Interest, to attract attention. Magazine, a compartment in some firearms to hold cartridges. Make sure, to be certain. On account of, due to. Pin, P-I-N, a fastener. Powder, an explosive material. Risk, to take a chance. Round, a piece of ammunition. Shell, a cartridge case. Sight, the power or ability to see. An aiming device. Stationary, standing still, not moving. Tend, to be likely. Tendency, an inclination. Thorough, complete. Trigger, a lever used to discharge a firearm. Troubleshoot, to locate the malfunction. Upper, the highest part. Lesson 1. Altitude, the height of something above the Earth's surface. Atmosphere, air surrounding the Earth. Atom, the smallest possible piece of a simple substance, an element. Barometer, a device that measures atmospheric pressure. Be composed of, be made up of. Carbon dioxide, gas produced in respiration. Compress, press together. Consist of, be made up of. Convert, change. Element, basic part, a substance that consists of atoms of only one kind. Evaporate, to change into vapor. Exert, to bring or put strength, skill into action. Exhale, to breathe out. Exist, to be. Expand, to spread out or become louder. Float, to be suspended in or rest on the surface of a fluid. Form, appearance, shape. Gas, a fluid which tends to expand indefinitely. Hydrogen, a gaseous element. Inhale, to draw air into the lungs. Layer, a single thickness. Lung, one of a pair of organs used in breathing. Matter, what a thing is made of. Material. Melt, to change from solid to liquid. Molecule, the smallest possible part of a compound. Nitrogen, a gaseous element. Occupy, to be in or fill a certain position, space, or time. Oxygen, a gaseous element present in the air and necessary to life on Earth. Particle, a very small piece or amount of something. Press, to exert force. Sea level, the average height of the sea's surface. Solid, something which is neither a liquid nor a gas. Space, empty area, the region outside the Earth's atmosphere. State, condition. Steam, water vapor. Surround, to enclose. Tiny, very small. Vacuum, space that is completely empty, especially of air. Vapor, liquid in a gas-like form. Volume, the size of an object or a space measured in cubic units. Lesson 2. Apply, put or spread on, put into use. Artery, tube taking blood away from the heart. Aware, conscious, having realization or knowledge. Bandage, a strip of material put over a wound to protect it. By the time, before or not later than the time another event occurs. Carry on, continue, do or perform. Carry out, accomplish. Collapse, fall down, fall into pieces. Collide, to forcibly come into contact with something or someone. Collision, violent contact. Conscious, knowing, understanding, aware. Continuous, constant. Crush, to squeeze or press with force sufficient to injure or break. During the time that, while something is occurring. Elevate, raise. Expose, bring into view, leave unprotected. Firm, steady, solid. First of all, the most important, the beginning, the first thing to do. First aid, initial emergency medical treatment. Fracture, a break or crack, especially of a bone. Infect, to enter and cause a disease in the body. Initial, first. Investigate, to search for or inquire into the cause of something. Procedure, method of doing things. Proceed, to start, continue. Restrict, to keep within certain limits. Safety, the condition of being safe. Sequence, orderly series. Series, a number of things coming one after another in order. Somewhat, a little, slightly. Steady, unchanging. Step, stage in a process. Unconscious, not being able to feel, think, understand what's happening. Vein, V-E-I-N, a tube taking blood to the heart. Victim, one who suffers pain or harm. Whenever, any time that. Wound, an injury to the body causing a cut or break. Wound, the verb, to cause a wound, to injure. Lesson 3, arrow, symbol used to indicate direction. Beneath, below. By means of, using through the use of. By way of, via. converge, to meet, to come together. Correspond, communicate by mail. Correspondence, mailed communication, similarity, agreement. Destination, the place toward which one is going or sent. Direct, to guide. Distribute, give out, scatter. Endorse, to write your name, usually on the back of a check or money order, to give one support or approval. ERN, the suffix, added to a noun to form an adjective, indicating that something occurs or is situated in a particular direction. Fold, to bend or turn something so that one part lies over or against another. Forward, to move forward means to move straight ahead. In the meantime, during this time. Intersect, to cross. Island, land surrounded by water. Look in on, make a brief visit to. Means, a way of accomplishing or achieving something. Meanwhile, during this time. Northeast, to or toward the northeast, coming from the northeast. Northwest, to or toward the northwest, coming from the northwest. On top of, on the top part of something. Opposite, facing across. Previous, past, before. Route, R-O-U-T-E, line of travel. Run short of. Use almost all, not having enough left. Secondary, second in order of rank. Southeast, to or toward the southeast, coming from the southeast. Southwest, to or toward the southwest, coming from the southwest. Throughout, in every part from beginning to end. Track, path. Transport, carry. Tray, flat receptacle with raised edges. Ward, suffix added to various stems to form adjectives. Zip code, a number which is the part of an address and which helps the post office deliver the mail more efficiently. Lesson 4. Accuracy, correctness, precision. Accurate, exact, precise. Advance, to go forward. Aim, control direction. Artillery, large guns, that branch of the Army that is involved with large guns. Awfully, very. Barely, almost not, by a very little. Demonstrate, show. Depress, push down. Effort, an attempt to accomplish something. Elementary, basic. Event, a special happening and occurrence. Expert, skilled. Failure, lack of success, non-performance. Give, gave, given out. Distribute, omit. Give, gave, given up. Surrender, stop doing. Go, went, gone on with. Go, went, gone on with. To continue. Immediate, instant, without delay. Improve, make better. Infantry, foot soldiers, that branch of the army which is composed of foot soldiers. Inspect, look at or examine thoroughly. Interfere, to get in the way of another, to put oneself in a matter that does not concern one. Intermediate, middle. Level, horizontal, even. Level, the noun, position, height. Marksman, one who is very proficient in the use of weapons. Marksmanship, the quality of being a marksman. Ought to, used to express expectation about the present or future. Phase, a stage in growth or development. Pre, the prefix, added to words to express before, in advance, in front of. Progress, development. Progress, the verb, move forward. Satisfactory, adequate. Should, used to express present or future expectation. Should have, used to express expectation about the past. Skilled, having great proficiency. Squad, the smallest unit of military personnel. Target, object aimed at. Book 24, Lesson 1. Abundant, present in great quantity. Access, a means, place, or way of approach, the right to enter. Actual, existing in fact, real. Actually, existing in fact. Alloy, a mixture of metals. Brass, a copper-zinc alloy. Bronze, a copper-tin alloy. Carbon, a non-metallic element. Cement, a powder which hardens during drying when mixed with water. Any adhesive substance. Comparatively, in a comparative way in relation to something else. Concrete, a mixture of cement, sand, water, and rocks. Construct, to build. Erect, to build. Extensive, covering a wide area, a lot of, having wide extent. Fixed, fastened, not movable or changeable. Iron, a common and useful metal. Liquefy, to become a liquid. Mine, a place where metals are dug from the earth. Mine, the verb, to dig, excavate. Mineral, material found in the earth. Ore, O-R-E, rock from which metal is obtained. Origin, the beginning, starting point. Overall, total, including everything. Pour, to cause a liquid or powder to flow out of its container. Dump out. Pure, clean, free of contaminants, not mixed with anything. Refine, to make pure. Relatively, in a comparative way. Solidify, to become or make a solid. Source, a place or origin, starting point. Steel, a strong alloy made of iron and carbon. Turn into, to change into. Utilize, to use. Various, of different kinds. Vary, to change. Book 24, Lesson 2. Aircraft, machine or machines that fly. Altimeter, an instrument for measuring altitude. Attitude, a way of feeling, thinking, or behaving. Position of a plane. Aviation, the science of flying aircraft. Bumpy, rough, not smooth. Co, the prefix which means together with. Cockpit, the part of aircraft where the pilot sits. Compass, an instrument for showing direction. Concentrate, to direct one's attention toward one thing. Cross-check, to check correctness by using two different sources of information. Cross off, to draw a line through. Cross out, to draw a line through. Disaster, a sudden misfortune, either man-made or natural. Discard, to throw away. Dive, to move downward. Enter water head first. Submerge. Fear, being afraid. Fear, the verb, to be afraid of. Flap, anything flat and broad, hanging loose at one end, part of an airplane's wings. Fuselage, the body of an airplane. Go right, work smoothly. Go wrong, have problems. Present in great quantity. Access, a means, place, or way of approach, the right to enter or use. Actual, real, exciting in fact. Actually, existing in fact. Alloy, a mixture of metals. Brass, a copper-zinc alloy. Bronze, a copper-tin alloy. Carbon, a non-metallic element. Cement, a powder which hardens upon drying when mixed with water, any adhesive substance. Comparatively, in a comparative way in relation to something else. Concrete, a mixture of cement, sand, water, and rocks. Construct, to build. Erect, to build. Extensive, covering a wide area, a lot of, having wide extent. Fixed, fastened, not movable or changeable. The prefix fy and ify, added to nouns and adjectives to form verbs. Iron, a common and useful metal. Liquefy, to become a liquid. Mine, a place where metals are dug from the earth. Mine, the verb, to dig, excavate. Mineral, material found in the earth. Ore, O-R-E, rock from which metal is obtained. Origin, the beginning, starting point. Overall, total, including everything. Pour, P-O-U-R, to cause a liquid or powder to flow out of its container. Dump out. Pure, clean, free of contaminants, not mixed with anything. Refine, to make pure. Relatively, in a comparative way. Solidify, to make or become a solid. Source, a place or origin, starting point. Steel, S-T-E-E-L, a strong alloy made of iron and carbon. Turn into, to change into. Utilize, to use. Various, of different kinds. Vary, to change. Book 24, Lesson 2. Aircraft. Machine or machines that fly. Altimeter, an instrument for measuring altitude. Attitude, a way of feeling, thinking, or behaving, a position of a plane. Aviation, the science of flying aircraft. Bumpy, rough, not smooth. CO, the prefix which means together with, joint. Cockpit, the part of aircraft where pilot sits. Compass, an instrument for showing direction. Concentrate, to direct one's attention toward one thing. Cross-check, to check correctness by using two different sources of information. Cross off, to draw a line through. Cross out, to draw a line through. Disaster, a sudden misfortune, either man-made or natural. Discard, to throw away. Dive, to enter water head first, submerge. Fear, being afraid. Fear, the verb, to be afraid of. Flap, anything flat and broad hanging loose at one end part of an airplane's wings. Fuselage, the body of an airplane. Go right, work smoothly. Go wrong, have problems, not working properly. Ignore, to pay no attention to. Instrument, a tool or device. Keep track of, keep informed. Lose track of, not keeping informed, not knowing where or when something is moving to. Maneuver, planned move of an army, aircraft, or ships, a skilled move. Maneuver, the verb, to move skillfully to a position, perform a maneuver. Mask, a covering to hide, protect the face. Missile, projectile, explosive weapon, rocket. Navigate, to plot a course or route. Needle, a long pointed metal pin with a hole in one end for the thread used for sewing. Also, gauge indicator. Panel, a section for instruments, controls, a group of people who decide something. Precaution, care taken in advance. Precise, exact, accurate. Propel, to move forward. Runway, a landing strip for aircraft. Tail, T-A-I-L, the end part of an animal or plane. Turbine, an engine driven by the pressure of a liquid or gas. Velocity, speed. Windscreen, the cockpit window in front of the pilot and co-pilot. Windshield, the glass window in the front of cars and other vehicles which protects the driver. Wing, a part that extends from both sides of the body which enables birds, insects, and aircraft to fly. Book 24, Lesson 3. Accumulate, to collect or bring together. Adapt, to make changes so as to be suitable for different conditions. Condense, to change from vapor to liquid, also to shorten. Dissolve, to make or become liquid, melt, to change into a solution, especially for a particular purpose, eventually happening at last as a result. Exceed, to go beyond. Excess, an amount by which something exceeds. Excessive, exceeding the usual number. Fertile, fruitful, productive. Fluent, speaking or writing in an easy, smooth manner. For instance, for example, gravity, the force which pulls objects towards the earth. Look into, to investigate. Moisture, dampness. Ordinary, usual or common. Penetrate, to enter, cut, or force the way into or through something. Precipitation, rain, snow, hail, or sleet. Principal, Principal. Main, major, most important. Principal, Principal, the noun, the head of a school. Principle, Principle, a basic truth or fact. Prior, earlier, before. Reservoir, a place for storing liquids. Saturate, to fill completely with the most it can absorb. Soak. Saturated, filled completely. Scientific, dealing with science based on scientific method. Soil, dirt. Vaporize, to change into vapor. Viscosity, the thickness or glueness of a liquid. Well, a hole bored into the earth to get water. Book 24, Lesson 4. Admit, to permit to enter or use, to state or agree to the truth of something. Any place, anywhere. Assure, to make sure, promise, give confidence. Brain, the organ of the body in the upper part of the head which controls thought and feeling. Break, broke, broken down. To go out of working order, separate into different kinds. Chart, a sheet of information, tables, diagrams, records of a patient's medical history. Confine, to restrict to a certain space. Cure, to get rid of an illness. Digest, to change food into the body into an absorbable form. Digestion, the process of digesting. Digestive, relating to digestion. Disease, a sickness or illness. Dismiss, to make or allow others to leave. Fire from a place of employment. Dismissal, permission to leave. Ensure, to make sure, protect. Erratic, irregular. Eyesight, vision. Faith, belief, trust, confidence. Fluctuate, to change irregularly. Get, got, gotten down. To reduce. Get, got, gotten over. To recover, get well. Guard against, foresee, and prevent. Human, having the qualities representative of people. In charge, have the care or charge or control. Inject, to force a fluid into something like a vein with a special needle, syringe. Intestinal, of the intestines. Intestine, the tube carrying food from the stomach. Book 24, manner, a method or way. Mild, not harsh, opposite or severe. No place, not anywhere, nowhere. Organ, a part of an animal or plant which has a special function. A musical instrument which has a keyboard and whose sounds are produced by pipes. Pull through, to recover, live. Recover, to regain, get back, get well. Recovery, a regaining of something lost, a return to health. Someplace, somewhere. Stable, unchanging, opposite of erratic. Surgeon, a doctor who cures by cutting into patients to remove or repair diseased organs or tissue. Surgery, a medical operation. Typical, usual, common, representative. Undergo, underwent, undergone. Undergo, went, gone, to experience. Unit, a single thing, a group of people working together for a purpose. Vision, sight, the ability to see. X-ray, a photo made with X-rays. X-ray, the verb, to photograph with X-rays. Book 25, Lesson 1. Above all, before every other consideration, most important of all. Advances, progress and development. Anti, the prefix, against, opposite. Atomic, nuclear, relating to atoms. Compulsory, mandatory, required. Contaminate, to pollute, make impure or dirty. Coordinate, to properly adjust. Emission, act of giving out, emitting. Emit, to send out, give out, discharge. Endanger, to expose to harm, risk. Environment, surroundings, conditions we live in. Exhaust, to use up completely, tire out. Expel, to force out. Fume, gas, smoke, or vapor. If not, or else. In the same way or manner. Similarly. Industrial, having to do with industries. Invent, to plan, create, make for the first time. Involve, to include as part, be interested. Manufacture, to make a product. Moreover, in addition to, besides. Not including. Nuclear, having to do with atomic power. Optional, not compulsory, voluntary. Permanent, lasting a long time or forever, not temporary. Plant, factory. Pollute, to make dirty or impure, contamination. The prefix pro, P-R-O, in favor of, in support of. Project, organized activity, plan. Radioactive, harmful quality of nuclear atomic energy emitting radioactivity. Resource, supply. source. Respiratory, related to breathing. Similarly, SIMILARLY, in a similar way or manner. Site, SITE, location, place, position. Surroundings, things around a person. Technology, science of skilled processes. Temporary, occurring for a short time, not permanent. Toxic, poisonous, deadly. Waste, unwanted matter. Lesson 2. Abandon, to leave without intending to return or to give up without finishing. Aboard, on or within a vehicle, a car, ship, or plane. Antenna, device for receiving radio waves. Bow, BOW, the front part of a ship. Capture, to take by force or surprise. Cargo, things that are carried by ship. Clearance, the space between two objects. Crew, people working together on a ship or a group of people working together. Deal with, to be concerned with. Displace, to move from its usual place. Equally, having the same amount, size, or number. Fleet, a number of ships under one command. Hull, the body of a ship. Launch, to start or fire. Navigator, one who sets the course. On board, to be on a ship, plane, or bus. Port, a city on the coast where ships can stop at harbor. Left side of a ship if you are facing forward. Radar, an electronic detection device. Range, extent, degree. Rocket, a self-propelled missile. Sail, SAIL, to travel by water. Seaport, a city on the sea, a port. Sonar, a detection device. Starboard, STARBOARD, the right side of a ship as you are facing forward. Stern, the rear part of a ship or boat. Structure, something built. Submarine, an underwater vessel. Submerge, to go underwater. Torpedo, a self-propelled underwater explosive. Transmitter, a device for sending radio waves. Underwater, beneath the water. Vessel, a ship. Warfare, armed conflict, operations against an enemy, type of war. Warship, a combat ship. Wave, an up and down movement in which some forms of energy such as light, sound, and water move. Lesson 3. Anesthetic, a drug or gas used to make a patient numb, a painkiller, as long as, provided that, since. Be about to, be just ready to do something in the immediate future. Cavity, a hollow place as in a tooth. Comment, to make a remark. Constant, never changing, regular. Delay, to put off, postpone for a period of time. Dental, concerning teeth, dentistry. Despite, in spite of. Dread, to anticipate with fear or distaste. Endure, to tolerate, bear, or stand. Even so, in spite of that, though that is true. Facility, establishment, building that facilitates some activity. Fall, fell, fallen apart. To disintegrate, break into pieces. Filling, substance used to fill something, as gold or silver in a tooth cavity. Glance, to look at briefly. Go, went, gone through. To endure. Grind, ground, ground. To crush into fine particles. Rub harshly like teeth. In a way, in one aspect or manner of speaking. In spite of, despite, taking no notice of. Needle, a pen-like device. Nerve, part of the nervous system. Nonetheless, nevertheless. Nor, N-O-R, and not, or not. Numb, N-U-M-B, having loss of sensation without feeling or pain. Regardless, despite the fact that, anyway. Relieve, to lessen, reduce, or ease. Take, took, taken effect. To become operative, be effective. Though, T-H-O-U-G-H, however, nevertheless, in spite of everything. To begin or start with, the first reason is. Vanish, to disappear, go away. Vicinity, the surrounding area. Withstand, withstood, withstood. To tolerate, endure, and resist. Lesson 4. Algebra, a branch of mathematics using letters or symbols to stand for numbers. Amaze, be greatly surprised. Amazed, surprised. Amazing, surprising. Angle, the space between two lines that meet or cross each other, measured in degrees. Approval, the act of approving, a favorable attitude or opinion. Approve, the verb, to consider good, right, or sensible. Be fed up with, cannot tolerate any longer. Calculate, to compute or figure. Cheer up, to cause to become happier. Compute, the verb, to calculate or figure. Curious, eager to know or learn. Diagonal, having a slanted direction. Digit, any number from 0 to 9. Dimension, measurement in length, width, or depth. Disturb, to bother, to break up the quiet, to interrupt. Disturbed, annoyed, upset, worried. Disturbing, upsetting. Evident, clear, easy to see. Formula, a mixed form of words or procedures composed of substances or procedures. Fundamental, basic, essential. Get across, to make one's ideas clear. Impression, an effect on the mind. Individual, one person or thing. In spite of, despite the fact. Taking no notice of the fact. In spite of it all. Taking no notice of many things. Irritate, to annoy, disturb, or make sore. Irritated, angry, sore. Irritating, annoying, causing discomfort. Mess up, to ruin, make a mistake. Obvious, apparent, easy to see or understand. Once and for all, for the last time. Recognize, to identify or know by some detail, to be aware of something as known before. Valuable, having material or monetary value, very important. Value, the worth of something in money, the usefulness of something. Worth, of the value of. Book 26, Lesson 1. Abrupt, sudden. Activate, to cause to start, to be active. Allowance, a definite amount, especially money. Ample, more than enough. Be behind, to be overdue in work. Bear, bore, borne, to endure. Bring, brought, brought up, to introduce, to raise. Capacity, the volume. Caught, caught, caught up, to come from behind. Concerning, about. Dispose of, to get rid of. Fall, fell, fallen behind. To be overdue in work. Forbid, forbade, forbidden. To command not to do something. Get, got, gotten behind. To fail to keep up with. Go, went, gone ahead. To continue. Hang, hung, hung on to keep. Ideal, perfect. Imply, to indicate indirectly. In place of, as a substitute. In regard to, concerning. Income, money earned. Instant, a small amount of time. Instantly, at once. Mental, of the mind. Overcome, overcame, overcome. To defeat. Pertain, to have reference to. Practical, useful. Practically, almost. Put, put away. To put in proper place. Refer, to send to for aid. Reference, a source of information. Steer, to guide. Substitute, to replace. Transfer, to convey or carry. The suffix y, act or action of. Lesson 2. Amusement, entertainment. Assume, to suppose. To perform or begin to use. Author, a person who writes books, papers, etc. Be charged with, to be accused of. Be up on, to be well informed about. Break, broke, broken in, to interrupt. Cartoon, a humorous drawing. Chapter, a division of a book. Chip in, to contribute. Column, the vertical arrangement of items. Come across, to find or discover. Come up with, to think of. Comics, a comic strip, a set of drawings that tell a story. Editor, a supervisor of a newspaper. Editorial, an article that gives the opinion of the editor. Emphasis, a stress, a special force to show that something is very important. Emphasize, to stress. Governor, a political head of state. Handicap, a disadvantage, a physical limitation. Hardship, anything causing suffering. Legislature, a law-making group. Objective, fair, able to look at the facts as they really are. Oppose, to be against. The suffix ous, like or full of. Publish, to print for the public. Put across, to make clear or understandable. Resign, to leave a job. Sort, a type or kind. Strange, unusual. Stress, to point out the importance. Subscribe, to order and pay for a newspaper or magazine. Think, thought, thought up. To invent or create. Viewpoint, an opinion or attitude. Lesson 3. Armor, a protective metal covering. Blast, an explosion. Bomb, a shell that explodes. Burst, 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 to come apart. Camouflage, to disguise. Check out on, to make one familiar with the operation of. Chop down, to cut down a tree. Chopper, a helicopter. Clear away, to remove. Conceal, to hide. Contrast, a difference. Contrast the verb, to show a difference. Encounter, to meet. Even if, though, though. Hoist, to raise up. Hover, to stay in one place. Live on, to survive. No matter who, what, or where, it makes no difference. Obstacle, a hindrance. Obstruct, to block. Proficient, capable. The suffix proof, impervious to, protected from. Reverse, the opposite direction. Rotary, turning on an axis. Rotate, to spin or turn on an axis. Rotor, a rotating part of machine. Set, set, set out, to begin a course of action to arrange. Shallow, not deep. Shield, a protective device. Spin, spun, spun, to turn around. Survive, to remain alive. Suspend, to hang. Sustain, to keep strong, to maintain. Tank, an armored military vehicle. Terrain, a land contour. Unless, except if. View, a range of vision. vital, extremely important. Lesson 4, accompany, to go with, at all, in the least, be up to be good enough for, to be the responsibility of. Come, came, come along, to accompany. Commerce, buying and selling. Commercial, of or related to commerce. Community, a group of people living in a town. Compartment, an enclosed space. Confirm, to make sure. Currency, the money in use in a nation. Economy, a system of money supply, the management of money in a nation. Equivalent, equal, same as. Export, to send items to another nation. Historic, important in history. Identical, the same. Idle, inactive. Import, to bring items into a country. In exchange for, to return for. Landmark, an object used as a guide. Lean, L-E-A-N, to press or rest against something, to bend. Limit, to set bounds. Limit, a boundary. Part with, to relinquish. Path, a course to follow. Rarely, not very often. Scarcely, almost never, almost not. Stand, stood, stood by. To stay ready, to support. Stress, a pressure. Tension, a stress. Trade, a commerce, a business. Trade, the verb, to exchange, buy, or sell goods or merchandise. Vibrate, to move back and forth rapidly. Wait on, to serve. Book 27, Lesson 1. At a time, as a unit one after another. Axis, an imaginary line something spins around. Call down, to point out an error, reprimand. Challenge, to dare someone to compete. Countless, too many to count. Count on, to depend on. Discrepancy, an inconsistency. Disregard, to ignore. Equator, an imaginary line around the earth halfway between the poles. Experiment, a scientific test. Funds, money. Geography, the study of the features of the earth's surface. Human, a person. In, on behalf of, for. Inferior, lower in rank or quality. Isolate, to separate. Latitude, the distance measured in degrees north or south of the equator. Longitude, the distance measured in degrees east or west of a line running through Greenwich, England. Look down on, to disapprove or have a low opinion of. Look up to respect or have a high opinion of. Mass, a large amount or bulk. Period, an amount of time. Periodic, happening occasionally, usually at regular time. Reprimand, to express disapproval of, to firmly point out an error. Revolve, to move in a circle around a center point. silent, quiet, or not speaking without sound. Surrender, to give up. Talk back to reply in a disrespectful manner. Willing, to be agreeable to do something. Won't, W-O-N apostrophe T, unwillingness. Work out, to solve. Wouldn't, W-O-U-L-D-N apostrophe T, past or conditional unwillingness. Zone, an area, usually with defined boundaries. All in all, considering everything, in general. Catch, caught, caught on. To understand, to learn about. Considerable, large in extent or degree. Dependent, relying on. Distinguished, famous, important. Enthusiasm, a strong interest. Genuine, real. Get, got, gotten ahead. To advance, to progress. Gripe, to complain. Imitate, to copy in actions or manner. In all, altogether, everything considered. In common, shared together, equally with or by all. In comparison, the act of comparing with. In conclusion, as the last thing, finally. Independent, not dependent on others. In short, put it into a few words, briefly. Group. Leisure, free and unoccupied. Make, made, made up. To create, to settle differences. Mechanical, having to do with machines. Mechanism, a working system. Muscular, of or relating to muscles, having a lot of muscles. Numerous, very many. Orderly, in order, neat. Protrude, to stick out of or project. Stick, stuck, stuck out. To protrude, to be noticeable. To conclude, to bring to an end. Tremendous, very large, great. Trim, to cut off excess. Wealth, a large quantity of money or property. Lesson 3. Absolute, complete, without limit or restriction. Bit, a small piece of quantity, particle. Blow up, to explode or cause to explode. Classify, to arrange in or assign to groups. Composite, made up of separate parts or elements. Composition, a mixture or combination of parts. Compound, a mixture of two or more parts or ingredients. Contact, the point at which two things touch, meet, or connect. Corrode, to wear away or to be eaten away gradually, usually by chemical action. Corrosion, the act, process, or result of corroding. Detonate, to explode or cause to explode. Deviate, to stray from, to turn aside or away from an established route, plan, or method. Diagram, a plan or drawing, a design explaining how something works or showing the relationship between the parts of a whole. Dynamite, a type of explosive. Explosive, a substance, usually a chemical that explodes or causes an explosion. Fuse, a tube or cord with a combustible substance used to ignite an explosive. A detonation device for a bomb, torpedo, or similar weapon, sometimes spelled F-U-Z-E. Impact, the force of contact, the force of one thing striking against another. In accordance with, as stated by, in agreement with. Instantaneous, completed in an instant, immediate. Interval, a period of time in between two events. In the event of, in case of. Kit, a set of tools or instruments. Retain, to keep. Set off, to cause to explode. Set off the verb, to set in motion or cause to begin. Shatter, to break or burst into pieces. Turn over, to transfer power, possession, responsibility. Turn over the verb, to move so surfaces change places. Whatever, anything that. Wherever, in, at, or to any place. Whichever, anyone. Whoever, any person that. Whomever, the object form of whoever. Wind, wound, wound. To twist or wrap around. To move in a curving or circular path, to tighten the spring of a mechanism. Wind, wound, wound up. To finish or complete, to bring to an end. Lesson 4. Acid, a chemical compound which will dissolve in water and usually has a sour taste. Background, past events or facts. Bar, a relatively long, narrow, rigid piece of solid material. Beam, a ray of light. Be in on, to participate in. Breakdown, a failure to operate correctly. Century, a period of 100 years. Check up on, to investigate, to make inquiries about. Coil, to wind into rings or circles that lie above or around each other. Cut, cut, cut off, to stop suddenly, to discontinue. Drift, to move along slowly as driven by the wind, waves, or current. Each other, of two or more persons or things, used to indicate a mutual relationship or action. Electrode, either of the 2 points at which the current enters and leaves an electrical circuit. Electron, a tiny particle which carries a negative charge and revolves around the center of an atom. Electronics, the science concerned with the behavior of electrons. Extinguish, to put out a fire, flame, or light. Flashlight, a small hand light, usually powered by batteries. In case, if it happens that. In case of, if it happens that. In the event that, if it should happen that. Magnet, an object, especially a piece of iron, that attracts objects. Magnetic, of a magnet. Negative, having an excess of electrons. One another, used to indicate a reciprocal relationship. Pole, P-O-L-E, the most southern and northern points on the surface of the earth. Positive, having too few electrons. Primitive, simple, not developed. Provided, providing that, on condition that. Repel, to drive or force back. Rod, a long, narrow bar. Static, noise or other interference with radio, television, or telephone communications caused by electrical discharge. Stick, stuck, stuck to continue. Surge, a sudden increase. Surge, the verb, to become greater, to rush. Volt, a unit of electrical force. Voltage, an electrical force measured in volts. Book 28, Lesson 1. Aisle, a path between or alongside rows of seats or shelves. Art, the creation or expression of beauty, truth, or ideas. Claim, to state, to take or ask for as owner. Come, came, come by, to visit. Come, came, come down with, to catch an illness. Come, came, come to amount to. Compact, closely packed, taking little space. Comparable, able to be compared, similar. Compete, to be in rivalry. Conference, a meeting for discussion purposes. Contest, a competition. Criticism, a judgment about good and bad qualities. Criticize, to judge good and bad points. Denomination, a standard, especially of value. Dent, a hollow mark. Double, dual, in 2 parts or twice the amount. Express, to say, show. Extent, the degree or limits of something. First class, best quality and or costliness. Go, went, gone by. To visit, to pass, to follow. Hang, hung, hung around. To wait or stay near without purpose or activity. Have in mind, be thinking of. Junk, useless articles, possibly old or of poor quality. Just in time, at the last possible time or moment. Limited, restricted, confined. Luxury, enjoyable things usually not necessary and often provided by wealth. Mention, to talk of. Occupied, being used, busy. Pleasure, a source of enjoyment. Reserve, to keep for a specific purpose. Satellite, a body or object that revolves around another. See, saw, seen about. To look into, to make arrangements for. Starving, extremely hungry. Stay over, to remain for an additional period of time. Verify, to make sure something is true or accurate. Lesson 2. Alternate, to do by turns. Appropriate, suitable, fit, or proper. Bubble, a thin film or liquid or solid material containing air or gas. Coat, a covering or layer over a surface. Coated, having a coat or covering. Desire, a wish or want. Desire, the verb, to wish or want. Dip, to lower, then raise. Dismount, to get or take down from. Fix up, to repair or improve the condition of. Get one's hands on, to acquire. Groove, a long narrow path, track, or depression in a surface. Hinge, a movable part that joins two objects. In the first, I'm sorry, ignore that. Let me go on. Clear away. Leave, left, left out. To omit. Light bulb, an electric device that emits light. Line up, to get in line, to align. The prefix mal, M-A-L, wrong or bad. Mark, a visible impression. The prefix miss, M-I-S, wrong or bad. Mount, to get up on or put onto. Pile, things laid on top of each other. Pile, the verb, to put items on top of each other. Portable, able to be carried. Pull apart, to separate with a force that causes movement in the direction of the force. Roll, to move by turning over and over, to move on wheels or rollers. Slide, slid, slid, to move smoothly on a surface. Stack, an orderly pile. Stack, the verb, to arrange into a neat pile. Teamwork, cooperative effort for a common cause. Trace, to follow. Lesson 3. Ascend, to go up, to move upward. Ascent, the act of moving upward. Calibrate, to work, standardize, or adjust a measuring device. Code, a system of symbols used to transmit secret messages. Descend, to come or go down, to move from a higher to a lower place. Descent, the act of going or coming down. Die down, to stop gradually or to become less strong. Diesel, an internal combustion engine in which air is compressed to a temperature high enough to ignite fuel injected into the cylinder. Diesel fuel. Fight off, to defend against, to fight to keep away, push back, or avoid. Give in, to surrender, to stop opposing. Input, that which is put in power, energy, or information that is supplied. In the course of, during. In the face of, up against, in the presence of. Despite the opposition of, in spite of. Issue, to give out, to distribute publicly or officially. Minimize, to reduce to a minimum, to place a low estimate on, to make something appear to be of little importance. Offense, the act of attacking. Offense, the noun. A wrong, the act of breaking the law. Output, quantity produced, power or energy produced or delivered. Petroleum, an oily, flammable liquid found underground, the source of gasoline, oil, and other lubricants. Prison, a place of confinement, a building where criminals are kept. Jail. Prisoner, a person confined in prison, a person captured or held captive. Relating to, concerning. Remote, far away, far off in place or time. Resistance, the act of resisting, the capacity to resist, opposition. Storage, the act of storing or keeping things for future use, a place for storing. Store, to keep for future use. Systematic, based on a method, organized. Take on, to agree to do, to hire. Theory, an explanation which may or may not be true, but which is formed on certain facts. Tower, a tall structure, sometimes used for observation. Trench, a long, narrow hole cut in the ground. Unite, to join together into one, to join together for a purpose. Vague, not clearly expressed. Indefinite, not having an exact meaning. Lesson 4. Actuate, put into action. Very high frequencies are needed to actuate television reception. Amplifier, electric device that increases strength of signal. Amplify, increase strength. Beacon, guiding or warning light. Or a light or radio signal. Bearing, relative direction or position. Blip, spot of light on radar screen. Blurry, not clear. Cable, thick wire or rope. Cliff, a high, steep surface of rock. Cycle, regularly repeating occurrence. Deflect, bend or turn aside. Distort, pull or twist out of shape. Echo, a reflected sound wave. Encircle, surround. Enclose, close in all around. Find one's way. Regain direction. Focus, make image clear by adjusting. Center one's mind on a subject. Frequency, number of occurrences per time period. Grid, system of squares on a map. Horizon, meeting of earth and sky. Image, copy or likeness of person or thing. The suffix like or characteristic of. Minute or minute. M-I-N-U-T-E, pronounced minute, very small. Moderate, of a middle degree. Obsolete, out of date. Plot, chart or plan of course. Radiate, to emit or send out, to move out in lines from the center. Radiation, movement of light, heat, etc. Scatter, spread out. Scope, screen of radar set, range or extent. Technician, person skilled in a technical process or field. Terminate, end. Variable, change. Visual, related to seeing. Book 29, Lesson 1. Adult, a fully grown person, especially of legal age. Bundle, articles fastened together, a package. Call in, to summon for a particular purpose. Catalog, a list arranged along a specific line. Come, came, come out, to appear. Direct, straight, honest, easily understood. Flaw, a fault, weakness. Glow, to shine. Goods, merchandise. Inventory, a list of goods, property. Merchandise, things for sale. Minor, M-I-N-O-R, a person who is not an adult. One after another, in succession. Pass away, to die. Periodically, occasionally, intermittently, at regular intervals. Reject, to not accept, to refuse. Repeatedly, again and again. Salary, money paid on a regular basis for doing something. Since then, from a past time until now. Stay up, to remain without going to sleep. Stock, goods on hand. Take, took, taken in, to understand. Take inventory, to make a list of items or goods. Take, took, taken leave, to take a vacation. Trash, something worthless or of low quality. Wreck, to destroy. Lesson 2. Alcohol, a solvent, a product of fermentation. Announce, to cause to be known. Balance, remainder, quality. Booth, a small enclosed place. Brave, having or showing courage. Cafe, a restaurant, bar. Complicate, to make difficult. Courage, bravery. Distract, to draw attention from. Draw, drew, drawn. To pull, attract. Flavor, taste. Get, got, gotten on with. To continue. Host, one who receives guest. In connection with, relating to. Neighborhood, a small section of city or town. Pass on, to give, convey. Preserve, to save or keep. Rare, not common. Relation, connection. Reside, to live in a place. Resident, one who resides. Rivet, a metal pin used for fastening. Segment, a part, section. Specify, to state in detail. Tin, T-I-N, a metallic element. Torch, a device used to weld. Tubing, tubes or pipes. Tunnel, a passage underground. Wild, not domesticated, having no restraint. Wilderness, a place of rough land where people don't live. Weld, to unite by melting together. Admire, to regard with pleasure and respect. Competent, capable, proficient, able. Course of action, a plan, procedure. Defy, to resist, oppose. Distinct, clear, separate. Distinguish, to recognize differences. Encourage, to give hope, courage, confidence, support. Evaluate, to determine the value or degree of. Exhibit, demonstrated, display, show. Factor, an element contributing to a result. Foundation, a solid base on which something is supported or built. Implement, to carry out, put into practice or effect. Incorporate, to unite together. Integrity, strict honesty, honor, principle. Morale, the state of mind of a person or organization, especially with regard to pride and determination to succeed. Nature, the qualities and characteristics of a person. Personality. Outfit, an organization, group of people working together. Outfit, the verb, to supply, provide, equip. Potential, an existing possibility, ability, capacity. Prime, main, first in importance, rank, or time. Relate, to tell, to see or show a connection between. Self, with oneself or itself. Style, a kind of type, a manner, way of doing. Take, took, taken action, to begin action. Take, took, taken charge, to take control of. Take, took, taken it out on. To express one's feelings by making someone else suffer. Be unpleasant or unkind to someone because one is upset or angry. Trait, T-R-A-I-T, a distinguishing characteristic or quality. Trustworthy, capable of being trusted. Dependable. Values, standards, people's ideas about the value of certain qualities. Lesson 4. Accessory, something extra. Auxiliary, helping, adding support. Backbone, spine, the rows of bones located in the center of the back. Blank, an empty space, especially one to be filled out on a printed form. Bring, brought, brought about, to cause to happen. By hand, done with the hand as opposed to using a machine. Content, that is within an enclosed space, such as a box or envelope, the subject matter of a paragraph or book. Core, the center, the most important part of something. Curvature, the degree of a curve, being curved. Diseased, having a serious sickness. Disc, a round, flat object. File, to arrange in order. Frame, a structural case which surrounds or supports something. Graph, a type of diagram with intersecting vertical and horizontal lines. Intense, strong or extreme. Kidney, an organ in the body which separates liquid waste from the blood. Monitor, a computer screen, a person or device for checking performance. Monitor, the verb, to watch or check performance. Network, a group of things connected, such as roads, computers, persons. Perspire, to sweat. Prove, prove, to demonstrate as true. Punch, to make holes in something. Hit with the fist. Reveal, to tell or make known. Skeleton, the bony frame of the body. Slam, shut or apply pressure forcibly. Spine, backbone, the row of bones located in the center of the back. Strip, a long, narrow piece of land, tape, or wood. Terminal, a station, as in bus, train, or computer. Book 30, Lesson 1. Appreciate, be grateful for. Band, belt or strap. Boost, increase or rise, an act that helps or brings encouragement. Boost, the verb, raise. Cleaners, place where clothing is cleaned. Compliment, expression of praise or admiration. Compliment, praise or express approval. Decorate, make more pleasing by addition. Don't mention it, it's all right. Figure, amount, number, or form. Fraction, part of. Furnace, device for giving heat. Grateful, thankful, appreciative. Invite over, ask to visit. Just the same, anyway. Keep an eye on, to watch carefully. Kid, child. Link, connection. Mate, companion, spouse, one of a matched pair. Microphone, device to convert sound to electricity. Praise, express approval. Remainder, balance. Research, investigation to get facts. Research, the verb, investigate to get facts. Souvenir, something that serves as a reminder. Speak up, speak louder. Speech, a talk given to an audience. Stick around, remain in or at a place. Stick by, remain true or faithful. Welcome, greet, accept with pleasure. Lesson 2, additive, a substance added to something to change it in some way. Bureau, a government department or division of a department. Compensate, make payment for. Compression, a machine that presses or squeezes gas together. Crank, an arm-like device used for turning things. Crumble, fall apart or break into pieces. Deposit, a natural accumulation, especially of a resource such as oil or gas. Diminish, reduce in size or effect. Do, did, done away with. Get rid of or eliminate. Duct, a tube-like passage for liquids or gases. Fully, completely. Horsepower, a unit for measuring power. In search of, looking for. Intake, related to taking something. Invert, turn upside down. In working order, in good condition. Made, made up for. To substitute for, compensate for. Mechanized, automated, done with or having machines. Mercury, a silver-colored poisonous metal used in thermometers and batteries. Nozzle, a device through which liquid is discharged, used to speed up or slow down the flow of the liquid. Punish, set as a penalty. Rag, a worn cloth. Reciprocate, move back and forth or up and down alternatively. Residue, that which remains or is left over, usually after some kind of chemical or physical process. Seep, move or pass through slowly. Simultaneous, occurring at the same time. Spray, discharge liquid in a mass of small drops. Thereby, by that means. Underground, below ground. Upside down, in a position with the top turned to the bottom. Valve, a device used to control the flow of liquids or gases. Wax, polish. Well, a deep hole which is drilled in the earth to obtain oil, gas, or water. Lesson 3. Adopt, to take for one's own. Ambiguous, not clear in meaning. Base, to establish or use as a foundation for. Caution, to warn. Commit, to obligate someone to follow a course of action. Concept, idea or thought. Conflict, fight or war. Contingency, an event that is uncertain or dependent upon something else. Contrary to, in opposition of. Conventional, usual or ordinary. Counter, against or opposite. Derive, to obtain or receive from a source. Feasible, capable of being done. Formulate, to organize into expression. Global, relating to the entire world. In essence, basically or fundamentally. In opposition to, against or opposing. Joint, shared by or common to two or more. Missing, lost or absent. Mobile, movable. Mobility, ability to be moved. Opponent, person on the opposite side. Originate, to start or create. Pattern, design. Policy, plan of action. Political, concerning government. Priority, preferential order or position. Proportion, comparative relation. Ratio, proportion. Secure, to make firm or safe. Security, freedom from danger. Setting, time and place, environment. Simulate, to give the appearance of or imitate. Tactic, means or plan used to achieve a goal. Task, job. Lesson 4. Accord, agreement. Amendment, change. Astonished, greatly surprised. Astonishing, surprising. Back on one's feet, be well again. Burn down, burn to the ground, cause to burn. Condolence, sympathy. Constitution, the structure or form of a person or thing, the basic laws of a nation. Democracy, government by the people, directly or through elected or appointed representatives. Deserve, be worthy of. For lack of, because of not having. For the sake of, for the good of. Give, gave, given a ring. Call on the telephone. In connection with. in relation to. It's a shame that, it's too bad that. King, male ruler. Mayor, elected official. Office, public position. Pass, approve. Queen, female ruler. Religion, belief. Religious, devoted, referring to religion. Run, ran, run for. Campaign for elective office. Senator, elected official. Send, sent, sent for. Request to come. Service, ceremony. Set, set, set about. Begin a task. Shocked, greatly surprised. Shocking, surprising. Sympathy, sharing in feeling, emotion. Tragic, terrible. What a shame that. It's too bad that. With respect to, in regard to, concerning.